This episode is for the business owners out there, or very busy individuals who are juggling fitness, are juggling life, and are still able to build and scale a very, very good property portfolio. Mr. Garcia, welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. I want, if you could, because my introduction of yourself is a little touch, if you could give just a brief little intro, who you are, your business, bit of intro who you are.
So my name is Michael Garcia. I am a fitness coach, nutritionist, bodybuilding coach from the northern suburbs of Melbourne.
Yep.
So I've been doing this, I'm 31 now. Probably started when I was about 23. Got really...
The business?
Yeah. But got really probably deeper into the business side of things, scaling, people working under me, just more recognition, et cetera, probably around 27, so maybe 4 years ago.
Awesome.
And I've basically worked with probably upwards of 1,000 people or individuals, taking people to bodybuilding shows, helping people with their health vectors, lifestyle clients, weight loss clients, et cetera, the lot. And yeah, just something that I've been really passionate about and luckily been able to make a career out of it. So it's been good. I still enjoy it. We'll continue to enjoy it. And I always say to people, like, it's something that regardless of like my financial position, I would probably continue to do for the long term.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've gone through your program as well.
Yes,
you run a very good
Yes.
business and you're extremely
Thank you.
diligent.
Yeah.
So there's no surprise that you've built a very successful business, right? I think you're downplaying how well the business is,
Yeah,
which is
I'm
good.
downplaying it.
You've built a very good business. And on top of that, we've also been privileged. We've now been working together for what, 2.5 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years. I think the first we worked together was probably around July 23.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You built a very good portfolio. And that's what we want to touch on today. The podcast, and the reason why I wanted to bring you on, I think, of course, you've built a pretty epic portfolio. You live a very busy lifestyle. We're talking about one of your recent purchases before you were going into prep and you're like, Austin, I don't give a fuck, just get the deal done, right? So I want to take the viewers into, I guess, your mindset and what a mindset of an extremely high performing person is around property investing. So that's what I'll focus on today. But you weren't always a successful property investor. You weren't always a successful business owner. Can we bring it back to, I guess, when you first decided or thought about property investing, what it is? Can we bring it back there?
Did you want me to go back to before?
Wherever.
Yeah. So I started off, I was actually in product development as maybe 23, 24 years old, up to 23, 24. So product development is like packaged nutrition products. Gotcha. And I was on very, very average, not even average, terrible money.
What's that? What are we talking?
Less than 50 grand a year.
Okay.
Yeah, working in Glen Iris, lived in Mill Park with my family. So it was an hour and a half commute up and back every day. Miserable, hated the job. But that's not what we'll talk about because I could go on about that all day. And I didn't always have, I was never poor because my family was always well off.
Okay.
I'm not well off, but always provided the roof over my head. If my groceries need to be paid for, et cetera, it was done. Never had to stress about it if I was struggling. But I was very, very, I was a tight ass, as we probably both were.
Still now or not?
Yes, I'm still a tight. I was saying to someone last night, actually, those habits don't go away. The example I raised with a friend last night actually was, I remember I would go out to a club or a bar and the boys would buy a round. And I'd be like, oh, fuck. Like now I have to buy a round as well. And I'd be like, I'd duck it. And I remember I ducked a couple and then I'd cop it for the next 6 weeks.
Fair enough.
Like I genuinely couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
I genuinely couldn't afford it. But then I think it would have been during COVID I bought my first property.
2020.
2020,
yep.
I bought that from a family member and it was just obviously everyone was getting a bit nervous with the environment with COVID. And so I bought a little bit cheaper off him.
Yep.
Sort of sat there for a bit, but I'd always been I was very wary with my money and even investing and whatnot was like a scary concept to me, like stretching myself. I did a little bit of stocks before that too, actually. Still like stocks. I don't do enough of it though.
Sorry to cut you in. So 2020, you obviously didn't just get to 2020 and just buy the asset. Like, how did the savings go? Were you how did you come about going, okay, I'm going to now buy a property? How did that all come about?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I was never really looking into it. I was just someone who liked to save.
Okay.
And the business started doing well. So probably 2019,
okay,
2018, 2019, it was doing good enough that I could start to save money.
Yep.
And then I would save. But I reached a point where I'm like, well, I've got to put this money somewhere because it's doing nothing in a bank account. And when you got the company account, it makes no interest. You know how it goes. And then the reason I actually bought the property, believe it or not, was not because I was looking into it. I heard him on the phone one day, like saying to someone, I need you to get me the money. And he was like, I'll get it for you soon. I can't get it right now. And then I heard, oh, you're selling one of the houses. Like, yeah. I'm like, what are you selling it for? And he told me what he's selling it for. And I'm like, I'll pay you that. Like, let's do it. And they said, oh, give me a little bit less and we'll get it done. And I'm like, okay, done. So that was the first one.
So that's it. Yeah, there was no due diligence. There was
nothing. He'd owned it for 10 years. Okay. So we kind of knew the go. It was just a townhouse in Mernda. I'm not sure if I said that already.
No, you haven't.
And I wouldn't say that really started anything.
Okay.
It was just something to do. Jeez. I actually moved into that house about a year later.
Yes.
Realised I hated Mernda. Yeah. And moved back home with mum and dad. Funny story. I just had enough of it one day. I was stuck in the traffic on the way to the gym. I was stuck in the traffic on the way home. It was a big empty house. There was cockroaches inside. There wasn't cockroaches inside. There was just a couple of cockroaches. And I was just like, fuck this. I packed my bags and I just went back to mum and dad's. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, let's keep it empty for a bit longer. I think I only had like 2 months left before it was 12 months. And then, yeah, it took me a while to sort of get moving again. But I think getting Clinton, the accountant, back in helped a lot. That was a big catalyst.
And we'll touch on that specifically. Yeah. I just wanted, so you bought the house. Mm-hmm. Can you go into, I guess, how that process was? What made you want to buy the house?
That was like very much just a default purchase.
Okay.
Yes, it was very much like I didn't know anything about it, and because it was so cheap in COVID, I was just like,
what did we pay? What did you pay for that?
$370.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you just went, yeah, cool, done.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And that was a very simple. So it probably not as complex as what most people's solo purchases would be, but just to acknowledge, my uncle was a developer of the site.
Okay.
So he did everything.
Gotcha.
And then he had them and was holding them. And then eventually I was just like, hey,
gotcha.
Let's get this done. But I even remember at the time, like my old man was like, I just do it. You can't really go wrong. And I was like, well, at that price, provided this thing ends, which we knew COVID was going to end, I'm like, you can't really go wrong, can you?
And yeah, would have done well.
In worst case scenario, it's like for that price, well, you can't lose. You're not going to lose any money.
Correct.
Like,
correct. Do you come from a family of investors or a family of business owners or no?
No, not business owners.
Okay.
My uncle did do development.
Yep.
So probably a little bit more on that side, but I wouldn't say they're heavy investors. Probably more so like the old school WOG mentality, and then probably surplus funds get reallocated into investments. If that makes sense. So they're not people that would actively invest.
Okay.
It's more people that would be like, oh, we've got a bit of cash and savings, let's buy a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be like looking for areas. It would be more of a concept of, oh, you buy in Melbourne because
it's around the corner.
I can't go wrong and I can look at it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I remember I said to my old man, I'm buying a house in WA. And he's like, but you can't go look at it. And I'm like, sorry, I'm never going to look at it anyway. Like ever. Yeah.
Too busy
anyway. What about to go look at the house? Yeah. Oh yeah, it looks good. All right, let's keep driving.
Okay, so they're not against, sounds very similar to my bringing, not against property, but just not, oh, what the hell are you doing there? Oh, that's maybe an added risk.
It's nerve-wracking to them.
Okay.
Yeah, which it should be nerve-wracking. Not should be nerve-wracking, but you still need to be careful.
And they want the best for you, right?
Yeah.
That's every parent does. I bought my mum her first property in Queensland and she's like, wait, what the fuck are we doing? So like, okay, cool. So obviously that's 2020. That property's done well. We'll touch on what the property's done. You didn't invest till
23. Yeah.
23. So another 3 more years.
Yeah. And I think that was just always an anxiety of like a scarcity mindset.
Okay.
Like you never know when things could go backwards and when things could.
The business you're saying?
Business, finance, just anything can happen. I was sort of raised like that too.
Okay.
Because the mentality always was like between my uncle and my dad, who are my two biggest influences on this stuff, was always like things can change tomorrow or things can change next week.
Fair advice.
Well, yeah, especially because of their experiences as well. Because like my old man had an experience in one of his businesses where things went belly up, not because of finances, because of like relationships within the business. So that's obviously a disruptor. And obviously, like for example, I don't know as much about my uncle's side of things, but like he went through COVID and had a huge portfolio. And then obviously the anxiety and stress that would have induced would have been crazy. Gotcha. Yeah.
It obviously took you 3 years mainly because of the fact that you're like, let's hoard cash and let's see what happens, happens. I remember that first conversation you and I had. There was still a lot of skepticism.
Yeah, there was.
I remember it. So you were introduced to us by your accountant, Clinton.
Yes, or Arthur. It might have been Arthur.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but in both of them. Yeah.
Gotcha. So broker and accountant, they said, hey, you've got to speak to Fresh Start. I remember the conversation you and I were talking to each other. And there was a lot of skepticism, but you're still like, let's rock and roll. I'm going to do this. I need to think about this though.
Yeah.
Tell me what was going through your mind working with someone and saying we're going to buy a property across the country.
Yeah. Well, like just to rewind a little bit too, like I think the biggest thing which probably held me off for those 3 years is the whole process of it. Finding the house, I know we'll probably talk about this, but finding the house, make sure it's right, doing all your checks. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Okay.
And because I bought that first property through a family member, everything was done. Like even contracts, we just did them ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I remember money-wise, you know how you go through settlement and they do releases and stuff like that. I just literally just transferred him the money, like the deposit. Or I can't remember exactly if I did that, but obviously very different. But that first one, yeah, you obviously think sometimes it's a little bit too good to be true, and you're buying on the other side of the country, so you have no idea what to really expect. And obviously when you see an area like fucking Bunbury, you think, when you're from Melbourne, you think, who wants to live here? Like, do you know what I mean? I still think that with some of the houses. I think, what, do people really want to live there? Like, but they do. We don't realize because we are so conditioned to the big cities, and this is how we've grown up, that plenty of people live like, I want to say simpler lives, but their job opportunities could be out there. Their families out there.
That's right.
Like Bunbury's an hour and a half south of Perth, for example.
It's a good region.
You're not going to go live in Perth if family's an hour and a half away. I never really appreciated the family side of it until like Dad passed in July, because back then I'd been like, oh, if I'm an hour and a half away from family, who gives a shit? Like I can just go visit them. Now I'm looking at houses, I'm thinking, 20 minutes would be like the limit.
Ideal.
Yeah, so then you start to realize that as well. But that was probably the biggest skepticism. It was like, do people really want to live here and pay like decent amounts of rent? And how much growth can you see in these areas too?
Which we'll touch on that.
Yes, that was probably the biggest one. You do have a little bit of the apprehension of like when you can't go and control it and see it and fix things, but you soon, like my rationality kicks in soon after that, where it's like I don't have time to do anything like that. If something goes wrong, I'm going to make a phone call and I'm going to try to do as little as I can. But that was probably my biggest area of concern, I will say.
Okay.
It was nothing really around the process or anything like that whatsoever. I trusted everything, and obviously you guys were good at, well, the track record was good, much better now as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's just now compounded, right?
Now, because now you've got probably 20 times the clients. Exactly. Yeah, so it's like, you can't go wrong. And based on our track record, well, people say, do they do well? And I'm like, do they do well for you? Because people always ask.
Of course.
And I say, well, yeah, I won't share too much with you.
There's a podcast coming out soon.
The podcast, yeah. I wouldn't keep going back otherwise.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. And it's now, four times. So I do want to dive deep into that skepticism, because it's the biggest reason why someone does not join anyone and does not take action.
I can tell you.
I want to hear about the skepticism, but also about why you thought that you had to actually pull the trigger and stop holding cash as well. If you could touch on that, that'd be great.
Well, if I had to loop back to me, I don't think I'll ever stop doing what I do. Probably
Working, you're talking?
Yes, probably do it on a smaller scale.
Gotcha.
But I'll never stop. But I want to know that I have the luxury to do that. I can scale back if I want to. I have security if I want to. If business starts to, we might have a downturn, things might happen. I feel like it would have happened by now if we were going to have a significant downturn, because it's been a fair bit of time. We've gone through recessions and everything.
You run a good business as well. You're downplaying how good your business is.
But I realized that I just wanted that security passively, not to retire or anything like that, as much as we would all love that. It was more just so I know that regardless of what I'm doing in the business here, they're still feeding me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was why I realized, okay, I've got no money working for me, really. I need to find a way to build up that security. But I didn't really come to a significant realization with that until I probably bought the first house. And I'm like, okay, like this is working out quite well. So that's probably why that was what made me decide I got to stop.
Sorry to cut you off.
The first Bunbury house.
Okay, gotcha.
That was probably why I stopped deciding, all right, it's time to invest, stop hoarding cash. But skepticism as well, I probably had less skepticism than you probably think.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember my bare minimum, and this is a good point, the bare minimum for me was, let's take away the fact that I don't want to have to do fucking anything. I want to keep working my job. I want someone else to do. I'm that person that if I need something done, I pay the person who's the best at it.
Best way to be.
Yeah, because if I need financial advice, I pay someone who can help with financial advice. If I need someone to do my fucking YouTube editing, I'm going to pay someone to do my YouTube editing. And a simple example, I'm not going to sit there and do it when I can pay someone like a fee.
Except right now, the social media.
Yes.
We won't go there.
But let's just say fuck. It took me a bit to register for that. But the way I see it is like, I can probably make more money just working. Not only that, someone else is going to do a better job than I am, because that's what they do. Yep. So why would I not want to hire someone who does what they do? But my biggest thing was, if I won't disclose the fees, but let's just say whatever fee a agent charges, a buyer's agent.
15 to 35. We're very transparent about that, right?
Yeah, let's say that's the fee. The amount of time it would take you to find the property, do due diligence, factor in like procrastinating, factor in getting your ducks in a row, factor in people getting in your ear.
Factor in almost fucking it up and not doing the right research.
All that, yep. The fee that you pay is going to bring the timeline so far forward that the property is going to be worth more than that anyway. Because I know if I had to do that myself, it would probably have taken me 6 extra months.
Yep.
And we'll go into the numbers, but in 6 months, I've made the fee back
5
times X. Yeah. So
probably a bit more actually.
yeah, that was my mentality around it. And that's what I tell people. I say, look, you might be apprehensive about paying the fee, but the speed to purchase and the quality of the purchase is going to outweigh anything. You don't have to go to a fucking auction usually. Thank God.
Yeah, but you weren't always like this, Michael.
I wasn't always like this, no.
Right?
Obviously, yeah.
You were not always
I
like
wasn't
this.
always
And
like
at the
this.
start,
Yeah.
so, and this is what your risk taking versus action taking, risk. Like, how do you actually balance the patience or this is risk versus the action taking? I mean, you've gotten so much better at it now because now you're like action equals result, especially in property. So you just know how to take action every single time. But you weren't always like it.
Yeah.
Especially at the start. Even after the first property, there was still skepticism of like, yeah, cool, we'll wait and then we'll go again. And then now it's like, okay, now we're rolling with it.
I think the skepticism around the first one after the purchase was some of the numbers, to be honest, I was actually pretty skeptical with the numbers when they were presented, like what the rent was, what the rate was, what we expected for growth. I was a bit like, that can't be right, can it? And that was probably one of the things which made me
First property was a banger though.
Yeah, it was a good one, yeah. I said no to that property originally.
Did you?
Yeah, because my dad was like, oh, it seems a bit too good to be true. And I was like, yeah, it does, doesn't it? And then I said to Austin, nah, I don't really like it. And I think he called me back like 5 days later saying, look, it hasn't sold. I think you should buy it. And I was like, I remember I said to him, yeah, fuck it, just do it. Like I remember I said offer 430 and then he's like, they want 440. And I was like, all right, yeah, just do it. And then
let's roll into roll into the numbers. We don't have to go into everything. Mernda property though has done well, right?
It has done well, but we obviously bought that at a very critically low period.
Yeah.
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 That was my uncle's definitely bleeding over that one. So
really?
Nah, but because it's me. But if it was anyone else, I'm sure it would be.
We wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
What's a portfolio worth now? And how many purchases have we done now?
We've done 4 purchases.
We've done 4. So 5 in the portfolio, which is fucking impressive.
Yeah, a little over 3.
Little over 3. Awesome.
Yeah.
This first asset, can you just touch on Glen Iris? Because this is the cracker.
Yeah, Glen Iris was Glen Iris is what, an hour and a half south of Perth, you reckon? Yeah, roughly. I bought that in September 23 for about 440.
Duplex.
It's a duplex. Yeah, so it has 2 tenants. Well, to keep it simple, it's got 2 tenants. And in having 2 tenants, that means you get double the rent, really. And when buying that, if you look at the house, it's nothing special. I'm pretty sure the guy that owned the area owned all the blocks.
Nice.
And he divided them all up. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, Austin would.
Austin definitely would.
Yeah. So when you look at it, you're kind of a little bit like, that looks a little bit sus. Do you know what I mean? But that's been my best performing that's positively geared by a shitload straight out of the gates.
Of course.
Yeah.
Renting for 900?
Yeah, 900. A little bit over that even, I think.
Awesome.
I'd have to double check that.
Yeah.
And good tenants, everything like that. There's good jobs there. So the people that, I don't think I'd ever have any issues with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. But in regards to that property, that's been the best property I bought.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the first one. And
that gave you the confidence to
that gave me a lot of confidence in it too, because you also buy another one, you go into a little bit more debt, but you're kind of like, well, the rent from this one's paying the next one as well. Because at that kind of rent, you're paying the interest and some. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I do interest only loans, but that's because I do like offset redraw facilities.
Yep.
Yeah. Redraw CBA, unfortunately. Not that it makes a difference.
No, I mean,
sounds different.
The offset and the redraw is all the exact same. But okay, but that asset's done 60%. We're well 60%. Over 700K now.
Which is crazy. They've asked me to sell it like 5 times.
Which is a good sign.
Emails.
Which is a good sign, right?
Yeah.
So that's done 60% in 2 years. We then took, when did we buy the second asset? Because that was end of September.
Probably the start of 24.
24.
Yeah, that was Geraldton. I was a little bit apprehensive on Geraldton.
I've got an asset there as well. So
yeah, because that's 4 hours north. And I was always a bit like, again, who would want to be here? But you do a little bit of research and you realise it's a little bit of a hot spot for them. It's a little bit like Torquay.
Yep.
Here. Well, maybe not Torquay, but...
Maybe a bit further.
Yeah, a little bit further, but maybe they don't care up there. I don't know. Yeah, for us, I'm not driving 2 hours for anything. But that was actually quite good because we got the government leases. Yeah, that was me and
that's right.
James did too.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got the 2-year lease. The only problem with the government lease is if something's broken, it's not we'll get that fixed soon.
It's like,
yeah, you need
get
it
it
right
done
now. Yeah, so there was a period of time there where I was getting like repair bills, and I was a bit like, oh, when's this going to end? But now I don't think I've had a repair bill.
Good.
Touch wood in
Good.
a good year. Yeah.
Touch wood.
Yeah. Hard, but it's the climate and stuff like that's difficult. But that's been a good property as well.
Yeah.
That's been a set and forget. They've all been set and forgets, really.
Which is exactly and you said it just before,
Yeah.
you're like, I will pay to not have to do any work and I'll pay to not do anything at all because you're so busy.
I want it like they don't exist.
Awesome.
Yes, like because to me, I just want to focus on what I do, and I want that to tick along in the background because my ambition. I already mentioned the financial freedom element of it too, where I can work on my own accord. Because as I said, I don't really want to stop working, but also just setting up with a future family and things like that too.
Yep.
You want the best for your family,
of course.
And I always raise this to people. I always say to people, people say money doesn't matter, and things like that. Like if you could give your wife like the best life possible and your kids eventually, why would you? Would you not want that?
And
like,
be present.
Yes, exactly right.
Because you don't have to necessarily work. Of course.
Well, my goal is like I'm 31, 35, I've got a kid, hypothetically.
Awesome.
I want to know if I want to chill at home, work fucking 10 hours a week, I can. Maybe not 10 hours a week, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't want that flexibility.
My biggest drive has always been, I know we're going a little bit off track here.
This is good.
Here, but I never want to be that father who has to go work harder when the kid is born.
Yep.
Yep. And then the wife's at home slaving. I want to know that when my kid is born, I'm there.
Yep.
And I'm always there. Because what's the point of having a kid otherwise?
Yep.
Yeah, you want to be, and then you hear all the time of situations where like fathers, like even the kids say, oh, my dad was never there growing up. But really, the dad was busting his ass to do what needed to be done. But the kids don't see that. And even sometimes the wife joins in on that narrative as well.
Yeah.
But that's just bad decisions when you're younger, I think.
Did you have that growing up?
Dad never worked like super hard.
Okay.
Yeah, like he did, but like it was never to the point where we felt like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we were lucky with him.
Everyone has different driving forces. I mean, that's one of my biggest driving forces to continue to work because I genuinely do want to be there for the. I want to have a balance. I do, and I think most people do.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. I mean, it's literally part of what I wanted to ask you today. What is the driving force?
That would be my primary driving force too.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to settle for anything. And I don't want my prospective partner to feel like they need to settle for anything either. I want them to know that if we need something to be done, I got it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you're the exact same.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
I love it.
And if everyone's happy and whatnot as well, like it works.
Happy is a fleeting thing, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yes, I know. When I mean, I'm also mean if you're in a happy relationship. Yeah. And obviously relationship's always going to have ups and downs, but for the most part, you zoom out, it's like, it's good. That's where you want it to be. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's the driving force. You understood that business is great, but probably could not be reliant on.
Well, you don't want to have to work like a dog forever. But I'm also like, I'm not an extravagant person. Like, you know this. Still drive a car that I've had for 10 years.
Good.
Got to get rid of that though, because I'm fucking over it.
Keep it for the longest.
Yeah, it's just because it's the Jeep Wrangler. I'm sick of it, man. Like I've driven the same car. No fancy clothes. I might do a fancy dinner here and there. That would be probably the ceiling of it. And like I'm also a believer in you start to adjust your lifestyle to where you're at, and then you end up just living like you've got nothing again because you're stretching.
Honest, you're looking at the mirror here because I think both of us, the more successful we have become, probably maintain the lifestyle to a certain degree. I'll go on a few holidays here, but I'm like you, right?
Yeah, I'm a big holiday guy. I'll give myself that. But even saying that, like when I do holidays, it's usually well calculated. Like it's usually on the back of work.
Yep.
To make it a little bit more justifiable.
Tax reason.
Yes. Like if I have a show somewhere, I'll be like, oh, well, I'm there. I'll chuck a few more days on top.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That generally is the way that I like to do things. Because holidays, even saying that, man, it's not a huge expense. Depends.
I mean, we're going on a few different tangents, which I think is good. But you've got the income. This is my top three things to how to be successful in property. Earn more income, keep your expenses low, and actually take action. It's the three things that you've already illustrated, right? And that's why you are so successful. Let's go back to the assets, right, and what they've done. First property did 60. Geraldton has done
45-ish.
Okay.
I only found that out the other day. I was pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, because we sent you
I was pretty happy about that one. Yeah.
From there, took a bit of time. When was the next purchase? It was. I think
it was January. It was about 10 months later.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm not too sure. No, I do know why that happened because I travelled in 2024 for a longer period of time. I went to Europe on that longer holiday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I remember it just it gets away from you.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then I bought Gladstone. Gladstone, I was oh, that was more, I just wanted to get something in the market. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I've waited too long. And that was what was sort of available at that point in time.
Yep.
Yeah. I probably got on that a little bit later than it would have been ideal because Gladstone went nuts.
Bloody still is going nuts.
Yeah, is it still going nuts?
Yeah, it's still going really well.
Yeah. So that was, I bought that one. And then we had Ballarat in April.
You've bought in every region that you're in is literally the nicest region in regards from a regional perspective. It's the best regions in the country ultimately, which is awesome.
I think a good one to share actually is one that I didn't buy was in Albury.
Wodonga.
Wodonga, yes. So I put the deposit down.
Yes.
And then Austin did all the checks and it ended up being mold in the walls. But the worst part about that was that when we asked to do the checks, they wouldn't let us do them.
Right.
So we said we enacted the clause where it was like we pay our deposit, we have 10 business days to do everything, and if not happy, we get the deposit back. Because we thought there's got to be something sus, but the property was a good price. But now that I think that
is a banger as well.
Yes, and then when we went over that and Austin did the checks and we did the calls and whatnot, which I think is testament to how you guys go about things, we realised it was like a 50 grand fix. So I pulled out, and I think it cost me like $1,000, but because you lose like a small percentage. Yeah, but like that was lucky. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how your risk profile will change purely from investing the more you go into it. Yeah. So, my risk profile now is so different, right? I'm coming up to 10 properties and it's so different to how it was at 3, 4, 5. So I am interested to see how you'll shift and whether or not you'd pull the trigger on something like that in the future.
Well, the reason I didn't is back to my, because I knew it would be a reasonable fix. I knew that I'd make the money back, etc. It was a really nice house too. It was just an elderly woman who hadn't touched it. And obviously, the kids obviously knew something was off when they wouldn't let me check it.
Gotcha.
But my mentality at the time was not so much that it was a problem. It was more, I don't want to think about these properties. I want to buy them. And then the agents tell me, hey, this is a bill to fix this. That's it. So the thought of me having to go in and organise to fix the shower and the walls was just, I'm like, I can just do something which is a little bit easier.
And Aussie knows this as well. Austin knows you so well. You guys have built up such a good relationship. It's like, no, Michael doesn't want to fuck around.
I don't want anything because even when he comes to me with like places that you can be renoed, I'm like,
don't do my head in.
I don't know, man. I can't be fucked with that. Not right now. Yeah.
Which is good. You understand that you make so much more money in your business than your time there, even though buyer's agents can handle 90% of the renovations, you still like, just can't be bothered. But I love it. Okay, so we've got a portfolio just over 3 million, including your other asset, which is awesome. I guess how does that feel knowing that you've built up a portfolio on the side of your business by the age of 31?
Sometimes I don't even realise that it's there. I forget. And then sometimes I work it out. When you sent the numbers yesterday, I worked it out. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. Why am I stressing about work today? And then about an hour passes and I'm back to stressing about work. So you know how it is. Yeah. It's just.
Do you feel a sense of achievement with it or do you?
I do. But I actually said to a friend the other day, like, I wish sometimes I stopped and enjoyed it a little bit more than what I have. Because it's always been a case of I settle when it's like, all right, what are we doing next? But that's been my mentality my whole life.
And it's got you successful too.
It's made me successful, but I'm sort of reaching that point now, which I'm sure you might be here as well, where I'm like, maybe it's time to like actually soak up these moments a little bit more, you know? Yeah.
Doing these things should I remember we went away, we just went away, not that this is about us, but we went away to Thailand with the sales team and that was a really big moment for myself and Frank to look back and go, fuck, like look at what we've created. I mean, it's hard and no one can tell you to do it.
It's so hard to do that because I got the Christmas party this week and I booked a nice place. And I'm hoping that's one of those moments. Yeah, it's hard to stop like that though because it just never ends. You know how business is. A business is.
Well, just not even business. I mean, Carl and I speak to the gentleman behind there. We wish we could be a bit more ignorant. He loves making videos, right? Yeah. He's like, I wish I could wake up and not be thinking about this and this and this.
I wish I could be like that too. I'm most stressed in the morning.
Okay.
I'm least stressed at night.
Okay.
Yeah. So morning I wake up. I'm not a slow morning person, like at all. I wake up and this morning I woke up 7:00, bit of a sleep in because I went to bed a bit later last night and I was straight to the computer, just doing all my admin.
Just going.
Yeah, literally as soon as I woke up, went straight to the computer and then I got up, ate my breakfast and came here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rocking. I've got. Mate, I was up at 5, but I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah, I generally wake up earlier. Last night I was watching Love Island's finale. So.
What was it?
Love Island finale.
Don't get me started on that. I'd put it on, turn on the TV.
Yeah, no, I chucked it on. It was like would have been 11 o'clock. Going to bed. I chucked it on. I'm like, I'll watch it.
Back to the property stuff. From a growth perspective, obviously you've now got you've got decent cash flow, really decent cash flow. How are you balancing and how are you making a decision on what property to input into your portfolio? Like, so the conversation with Austin, can you talk the viewers through how that kind of looks, what the decision is, and you're like, let's go for this one or let's go for that one. How does that look?
Well, previously I've actually always been a fan of the smaller, more cash flow positive properties.
Okay.
And I've never really gone significantly larger than that. Only now we're looking at that little bit larger.
Because we're looking for what, a $2 million house?
Yes, but the problem with going larger is obviously you have to, with the small properties, when you're talking 500 grand, they're generally going to cover themselves at a worst case scenario and they're always going to keep going. When you're talking to like millions, you have far more apprehensions. And like, for example, the rent's not generally covering the repayments. So you do need to pull money out of pocket. So you need to be reassured that things are going to keep moving. When we have those conversations, it really depends on where I'm at. Right now, having the conversation where we want to go larger, but previously I've just wanted to be simple. Simple, easy, get it done. Multiple vehicles.
So what's simple, easy, get it done? What's a simple asset now?
Yeah.
A pretty sophisticated investor.
A $500,000 property to me would be a simple asset. Not simple, but it's quite predictable. You know what's going to happen. People are going to live in it, etc. Because as we spoke about with Ballarat, when I bought Ballarat, I sort of said to Oster, I'm competing in a month. I want a house settled before the show date. Don't contact me outside of to sign contracts. And I remember Frank tried to call me just to do the formalities. I'm like, boys,
leave me the fuck
I'm 3
away.
weeks out. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just get it done. And that was that. I have that level of confidence on those kind of properties with you guys in particular, of course. But then when we step up, obviously, I still have some, not apprehensions, because it would sound like you're not doing your part. Apprehensions, it's more, I just get nervous about spending more money.
That's fine.
Yeah, you know
it's
what I mean?
It's a different asset class as well.
Yeah, and there's obviously going to be more risks involved because you stretch yourself to that kind of price, and it can be theoretically be a setback. You know what I mean? It's going to be the case for anyone who's probably looking at larger investments. But yeah, Austin's pretty on top of what I'm after. He's been very, very good. But I wouldn't say I'm married to a specific.
No.
Whatever works, whatever makes money, I don't care. I always say to people as well, when you look, because people look at the areas and be like, oh, I'm not going to buy there, I'm not going to buy here. It's money on paper or numbers on paper. Like the house, you're never going to see it. So who cares where it is? Who cares what it looks like? As long as someone lives in it and they're happy, and the numbers stack up.
Yeah, again,
it's like buying stock.
It's an elite level mindset. Again, right?
You can't be emotional.
Yeah, but you don't give yourself maybe enough credibility. Do you think running a business now for 7 years?
Yeah,
8 years?
More. Well, let's just say 8 years. Yeah.
Has had an impact on how you are as an investor, or no?
Yes, it has, but I did have a long period of time. I probably only started becoming less emotional about business in the past couple of years.
Okay.
Maybe even the last 12 months, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I would always take things very personally.
How do you mean?
Even like when clients leave or clients don't pay or whatever like that, I'd be very pissed off about it. This morning I woke up to some guy reversing his bank charges. Don't ask me fucking why, because he was meant to pay a notice period out. He obviously didn't want to pay it. Previously, I would have gone nuts and sent him an abusive message. This morning I saw it and I'm like, it is what it is. It's another loss.
So you know, you're still developing into that kind of emotional.
Yes. I've definitely the best I've been because you got to learn. It can't control you. And like I said, I often say to people when if you get it, well, I got advice from a friend. As soon as you're emotional in business, you've lost.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, he told me that advice, and ever since I heard that, you think about it, and you're right.
Yeah.
Because even when, like, for example, a client kicks up about something, I say to the boys, you might want to roast them. They might be wrong, but just let it be. Just be like, okay, I'm sorry. Here's your money back, or I'll fix it, or it's all good, and just let it move on because in a week you won't care. Yeah, and they're likely to cause more headaches if you try to press back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that translating straight into because properties are businesses, right?
Yeah, it is.
Shit is surely fucking up with.
Yeah.
When you said on the defense property that you have, things were popping up at the start. How do you go about reacting to those things? Is that emotionally draining? Was it not?
No, that's just the price of doing business.
Right.
Nothing that popped up was unusual. When they're telling you have to trim shrubs or you can't move forward, you're a bit like, come on, mate. Like, we got to see my shrubs. Yeah, no, that was never difficult. That was never difficult for me. But like, I think in investment, people get so attached to property investment as well.
Way too attached.
Yeah, so emotionally attached. It's like, I love this property. And it's like, you're never going to live in it. Like, you're never going to see it, ideally. Ideally, you never see it, except on the day that you sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you have to fix something or whatever. Like, you have to fix something because you're selling it, maybe. So if you just consider it like completely theoretical, that's the way. That's where you're going to succeed. Because like, if I was being emotional about it, I'm not buying in Gladstone. I'm not buying Ballarat. We've grown up to think that Ballarat's fucking
shithole,
second rate.
Yeah.
Ballarat's not bad, but
beautiful.
yeah.
It's actually nice.
If you're not born there, you never live there.
Yeah,
but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I do.
Yeah,
I do. And property is just one of those things, right? Because you like stocks. You ever gone down to I don't know, Melton Coles and gone, Melton Coles doesn't look too nice. I'm not going to buy.
Yes, no, exactly right.
No, you don't. But with property, for some reason, we are like that. But yeah, I love it. Biggest lessons. You've now gone, you've built a 5 property portfolio. You're literally in the top 1% of property investors in the country.
Sounds nice.
It's crazy to hear, right? Like it's awesome. Biggest lessons as an investor that the viewer can kind of take away. Biggest lessons.
One of my biggest principles is if you need a job done, you need a job done well, hire someone to do that job. And hire someone to do that job well, because the money that it's going to cost you, you're going to make back tenfold. Because would you hire a plumber to do your electricals?
No.
So why would you do your own investing when it's not your
Save
domain?
To save money.
To save money. It's just, that's one of my biggest principles. If I need something done, I get the right person for the job.
Yep.
And if you half-ass it, you're just going to continue to pay and accrue fees, hypothetically, to the point where eventually you're going to have to pay that big dog anyway. You know what I mean? So that would probably be one of my biggest lessons of the last few years, which I encourage to everyone. Like even when people come on board for our coaching and they're stressing out about whatever they're paying us, it's just expensive. And it's like, you can't save your way to the top. Like you can't. Yeah, you need to.
And you are literally evidence of that.
Yes, you can't save your way to the top. If I had kept saving, I would have had some money, but I would have been working until the day I died.
Yep.
Yeah. Or trying to live off savings, which no one wants to do.
Yep.
Yeah. That would have lasted long either. Yeah, no way. That would be a piece of advice. And sometimes you do have to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable.
Okay.
I still struggle with that. And I struggle with it, but there's also times, like I have on my whiteboard, like if you want to grow, you have to, I forget what the quote is. Something about like,
step out of your comfort zone, whatever it is. Yeah.
Get rid of comfort.
Yeah.
But obviously there's within reason, because there is people out there that overdo it. I've seen friends that happen with. Had a friend do that with stock investing. Really stretched himself. Things went to shit.
Stretched, you said? Or stressed?
Stretched himself, yeah. But yeah, the biggest thing would be stepping out of the comfort zone. And if you need advice or you need someone to do a job for you, which requires some kind of expertise, pay for it. I love it. Because you'll make that back tenfold. I fully recognize that not everyone's in a good financial position where they could potentially do that. But if you ask around, I'm sure there's someone who could put you in the right direction. And if we're talking about someone who's capable of investing, hypothetically, meaning that they would have some kind of disposable income or a good wage, I think it's always important. Like even like, it doesn't need to talk about finances. Like we could be talking about like psychology, like your mental health, your physical health, fitness, like what we do. If you want to make strides and see improvements, like seek the required help. Yeah, because I have at least like 8 professionals that have worked for me on different supports, and yes, it costs money, but it's not like I'm paying them all at once. It's phasic, the word.
That's a nice word.
Yeah, let's just say
I'm the wrong person for vocabulary here.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna. You're not going to be seeing like, you're not going to be dealing with your buyer's agent, your psychologist, your nutritionist, that all in one week. But if the time arises where you did need to see a psychologist regularly, go get it done, get that not nipped in the bud, but actively work towards it, work towards making an improvement. And then, but that's like with anything. Or you could just, I know it's a very simple example, or you could just dwell in your sorrows or dwell in your confusion of what you're feeling and what you're going through. And that could impact everything downstream. Yeah.
And not push you any closer to the ultimate goal. I think,
the biggest thing with success as well, in my view, is it allows you to be to reach the potential of the person who you are or should be. Because at the end of the day, like going back to the financial and partner wants something, you've got it, or there's a way to sort of get there. By having that comfort, let's just say, or having that financial security and whatnot as well, it allows you to explore opportunities available to you. And you want those opportunities. Okay. And if you can't explore those opportunities, there's things that you might not experience in life. And if you don't experience those things in life, well, you're not going to live to your full potential.
Yep.
But
I love it.
Yeah, you got to find a way to balance the living amidst it as well. I've always struggled with that. But the last 6 months
I think it'll be a continuum. I think what will help both of us is maybe children, maybe.
Yes, I think that sometimes too. This year's been much better. Competing for me made the biggest impact on me, showing me that I could still do things for myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, still exploring everything I wanted to and find a nice balance. And I've also sort of moved away from, I know this is not really related to what we're talking about.
No, it's fine. This is good.
We work for the client. You guys work for the client too. I work for my clients. But there's nothing wrong with not bending over backwards for them. Do you
There's
know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong
With not bending over backwards for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like be there, deliver what you need to deliver, help them when they need to be helped, but you still need to.
There needs to be a balance.
There needs to be a boundary.
9:30 at
Yeah,
night.
there needs
You
to be
were
a boundary.
very bad like that
Yes,
when
I
was working with you.
Sometimes I still do it, but if I'm replying to someone at 9:30 at night, it's because I'm probably in bed just scrolling through my phone and I think, I can answer that right now.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm actively like, I got to get back to Adrian at 9:30 or he's going to be mad. Because now I do like a 5 p.m. cutoff.
Okay, good.
I say that, and then if something pops up that's important, I'll reply. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is, I think, works better. I think the biggest thing is, again, I'm going way off track here, but like even on a Sunday now, I have like a no reply
see.
concept.
I saw that.
Yes. And I'm still going to reply, but that message coming through and people seeing that, it takes the pressure off me because they see it and they think, he'll get back to me tomorrow. And if I do reply, it's like, thank you. Like you didn't have to get back to me today. Whereas before, it was an expectation. You know what I mean? So removing that expectation even after hours has been very helpful as well. Yeah, because I will still do it. It's just I don't want people to sit there thinking, I messaged him at 9 a.m. on Sunday. It's 1 o'clock. Where the fuck is he? Yeah, it's like, he might reply, he might not. And if it's
I might actually implement that. It's
a good idea. It's just more. It's not to say don't fucking bother me. It's to say
people feel
just be patient here, and I'll get back and I will get back to you.
And I appreciate that.
And I think that works. Yeah, and again, they appreciate it more. I almost feel like they appreciate it more knowing that you have downtime sometimes. Sure.
Yeah. People appreciate it. We actually started up the opening words of this podcast was if you're a business person who has a lot of shit going on, but are looking for I don't think I had the balance part in there, but I said a lot of stuff going on and still have the ability to build a portfolio on the side. That's how we started the podcast. We finished it just on this topic right now of balance, which I think is fitting. I think we've ran through absolutely everything, my friend. It's been an awesome podcast. You're destined by 35, I think, to have a $10 million plus portfolio
so.
and something that
so,
actually, more importantly, fuck the number off, something that actually supports you to go, shit, if anything happens with the business, I'm actually really good here.
That's exactly the mentality I want to be in. Yeah, because like I said, not everything lasts forever. But it's not even that not everything lasts forever. Like business-wise, something could change in my life that requires me not to do it anymore.
Of course.
Could be a family situation, could be a personal situation, you don't know. Still want to know that if that security is there, that's big for me as well.
For sure.
Because, you don't know. I might in 3 years' time say I fucking hate bodybuilding now. Probably not going to happen, but like you never know. You never know. There's things that I used to like when I was 25 that I don't like anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're always evolving, especially being business owners and portfolio owners. You're just constantly, you're evolving more than the normal human, I'd say. But I can't thank you enough for the support that not only you've shown myself, Frank, also just everyone. I mean, you've brought your brother on and a whole bunch of people and supported Fresh Start. I appreciate the relationship, and I just you're going to amazing places. We'll be at the same portfolio, I think, in the years to come, and I look forward to celebrating when we do get there, if we ever do.
Oh, we will get there. We will get there.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.